Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor.
Welcome back, everyone. Joined in the studio by David Johnson, owner-operator David Johnson's Guy Service. We just gave you his rundown on plugs. I certainly hope it's the little things that make the difference between being successful, the 1 or 2 fish a day, as opposed to none. And I've been there many times on the wrong side of that. Okay, so herring.
Herring.
It's the early season bait. I mean, preferred by 9 out of 10 of us. I'm comfortable with saying that. If you're not on the anchor, most likely, if you're not back trolling in Oregon City, you're running herring.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're on the Columbia, down in the harbor, down lower, you're pulling herring. Your thoughts on herring early season? So here's my standard questions. I asked Mr. Votopoulos this just a couple of weeks ago. Brined, not brined, what's your favorite to fish with right when you're on the water?
Mostly brined.
Mostly brined?
Yes, mostly brined.
All right, see, we're getting different perspectives. That's why this is the best show ever, everyone. Why?
Confidence.
Okay, that's it.
Caught so many fish on it.
Yeah,
but in the spring, a lot of times I'll have my brine that I brined up the day before or night before. Then I'll have a fresh pack, and I'll start out with some rods with the fresh stuff. Have it in the cooler, but as it thaws out, usually after I use about half a pack, I throw those in the brine too.
Just to get them brined up, right?
Yeah, and sometimes they do want that fresh herring, less salt flavor, kind of a thing too.
Unbrined.
Unbrined. Yeah.
And they're a little bit softer. They
don't last as long. Yeah. That's probably a lot of it too. And
the scales will come off a little bit faster.
I cut plug most of my herring.
Sure.
So I want a tougher bait, brined up. You mentioned the trolling, but early season herring on anchor is good. And even in Oregon City, back bouncing and diver fishing herring is good too.
Okay, now hold on. Some things we don't talk
whole
about.
Whole herring are more.
Okay,
that's used more with the whole herring.
Okay, yeah, all right. He just gave up a good one, man. I'm telling you right now, boy, that was a good one. He didn't even know it. But that's a poke back at me, and I get it. All right. Okay, so in your brine, everybody's got their own take, right? Myself, just to throw it out there, it's pretty much just water and just distilled water and non-iodized salt. Sometimes I'll throw in some of the Procure bait spice just to get a little bit of a kicker in there. So I keep it super simple with a brine. Yourself, do you go crazy? Do you do different things? What do you do?
Not too crazy. Lots of rock salt.
Okay.
Lots of rock salt's important. I mess around a little bit with some of the pre-made mixes and stuff like that. But even if I do that, I still add at least a couple cups of rock salt.
Gotcha.
When I'm doing my own brine, I'm probably using a pound of rock salt. I mean, I do it in a cooler.
Sure.
And then
one big cooler for all your baits.
One big cooler with all my baits. So there'll be several dozen herring, probably a couple quarts of water, 3 quarts of water, maybe a pound of rock salt, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Well, what's the little bit of this, a little bit of that?
Curing type stuff mixed in there. But
so you're like sodium sulfites or bisulfites, something like that?
Something like that.
See? I got you close though, okay? Go to Procure, over at Fisherman's, look, and you'll see all these bio and sulfite stuff. Just pick one. Okay, Salmon Slammer. You ever mess with that? No, not Salmon Slammer. Salmon Slammer. Yeah.
That's the
scent or the powder.
No.
Am I getting that wrong? No, it's not. I got it right.
No.
So you don't mess with that stuff at all?
Yeah, I'm not familiar. I always thought that was a scent, a mixture scent. Anyway.
Okay, so there's definitely a lot of different versions that are out there. So it's just water and rock salt. Yeah. And then some little
even
extras.
you just water and rock salt is good enough as long as you got a good spin. Change your bait often. Okay. Good scales.
Next
good
question.
shine.
That's the next question. Okay.
Yes.
Cut plug. Most popular. He already mentioned whole herring. We're not going there. Sometimes that's the difference. I'm telling you right now. Sometimes the green label with the head on and a good spin will outfish everybody else. We've seen it. It didn't really help me out much last year, but at the very least, it is something to keep in mind. I got my butt whipped last year.
Something to mess with, yeah.
It really does. Okay, so cut plug. Are you a 2-hook person, 3-hook?
2-hook.
2 hooks.
Yeah.
3-aught, 4-aught, 4-aught, 4-aught?
Depending on the size of the herring, either 3-aughts or 4-aughts. I do the same size. Both hooks.
Gotcha.
Either 2 3s or 2 4s.
Pound test. I'm down to 30 seconds. What do you like for your leader?
20 or 25.
20 or 25?
Yeah.
Okay.
A thinner line gets a better spin to it.
Do you like a tail out spin? This is always a catch
spin.
Tail out or just drill bit?
Drill bit.
Drill bit.
Yeah.
Your positioning or your thoughts when you get your hook wrong and you don't get that perfect drill bit spin where the tail stays. Do you rip it off and do a completely new herring, or you do replace the hook?
They always got a good spin when I look at them and put them in the water.
Okay, that's called time on the water, everyone. We're going to cut to a quick break. When we come back, we've got your deal of the week from Fisherman's Marine. I'm going to keep him up here anyway. We'll be right back, everyone.